Hi, this is Roger, thanks for dropping by. Have a go at this little Japanese larch today. The reason it's got rocks on it is because in the wind this keeps blowing over, and for some strange reason that I can't remember, although this got put in a training pot, it didn't get wired in. There's some lovely root growth showing under here, and it is a reasonable root system. Now at this time of year I wouldn't dream of repotting a bonsai. However, if I don't get this in a pot with a bit of stability, then it's just going to keep blowing over. So that's the idea. This pot's already been used. I don't remember what was in it. I just can't remember it. But it saves me a lot of hassle today because I don't want this to be a long-winded job, because it's already got the preparation done with the, the little bits of mesh in there. So all I've really got to do is get some wire going, and we'll have two pieces. Take one down each side, even though there's only two holes, but just went straight down the back of the bench. Luckily, it didn't go too far. So that's one piece. I have another piece. Similar length. It leaves a little bit left over. I have bought some more coils of wire there. Sat waiting to go at the moment with no purpose. Haven't got anything in mind for them. So we'll pop this up through there. Something like that. I hope this is long enough. And then we'll put that up through that side so that it can come across the top. That will do for one piece, and then the other piece can go in sideways. The other side. I can go across the top in the other direction. Right, there we go, that's the wire in place. It's the thing I usually forget. I usually get the plant all in place and then realise I haven't put the wire in. Wire goes in first. So all I'm going to do with this is, I've got some media that was left over from last year. There's only a bit in here, but I don't want much. I'll just put some of this in the bottom. It's very gritty, it's very dusty as well. Just so that there is something for those root tips to get into, so that they're not on the bottom of the pot. Now, the problem is I don't want this. I might actually, yeah, I think I will. I'll be back. The problem is I am going to take the bull by the horns. I want to change the angle of this tree. That's the angle it was at, and I want to change it to there, with a slight tip on it. So I'm going to take these corners off. It's not a dramatic amount. I'll still leave plenty. I'm only going to take off enough so that I can get the tree in at the angle I want. Just want to twist it. So again, just take that corner off. How are we doing now? Yeah, that's better. That's a lot better. Right, and then all we need to do is put what little bit of media we've got left down those two holes. In fact, I might not have enough. Certainly don't want to start mixing up media. If the worst comes to the worst, it will just get grit. which I had planned on putting over the top anyway. In fact, there's a little bit left in the pot that it came out of. Don't worry about this being old and tired. It's not. This would have been bought and potted up probably last year or the year before. So this isn't old media. So we don't need to worry about that. Just make sure we've got enough down the sides. And this will get topped up with grit anyway. Right, now all we've got to do is get it to stay in place. Give that a good tug and a twist. You can get rid of those ends. To the pliers and give that a good twist and a tug. Just get around here a bit where I can see what I'm doing. And then hopefully, because it's now in a ceramic pot that's got some weight to it, when the wind blows, hopefully it won't pull the whole thing over, which is what was happening. It's in a little plastic training pot with quite a bit of greenery on the top, and I mean it hasn't even fully opened yet. So, and then we'll bring this pair round this way. It should hold that in place. Going to show, but so be it, so be it. Turn that over. Right, and then I'm just going to top that up with grit, and then we'll give it a good water. Say some of this grit can be eased down in with the media. This is just granite, I think it is actually, but it helps stop weeds grow. It's a nice hard grit, and it's relatively decorative. Some people don't like that sort of thing on their pots, but I do. Just make sure that's gone right down the sides. So I can feel there's a little gap there. Push some of that down in there. Hasn't got a huge root system yet, but it's working on it, and it's well on the way. There's a reasonable amount of roots on here. Right, there's just a few roots sticking up out of here which can be trimmed off now. There we go, that'll do. That's effectively that's why I wanted to turn it in this pot, so that we've got that as the sort of front view now. So the tree effectively goes away, twists round, and then comes back towards us. And the only thing I will do now is that the fact that this has not been pruned, it was left to grow last year. I just want to have a quick look round at things like, this is a nice fan shaped thing here, but we've got a crossing branch here, so we'll take that back to there, and I just want to take the ends off so that it evens it out, makes a nice rounded shape. At this time of year as well, with the larch, so there's another crossing branch there, we'll take that off. There's a branch heading out to the middle, we'll take that off. Be selective with larch, where you prune back to, trim back to, the bud that you leave, that's the one, the direction that the branch will take. But at this time of year, it's by giving it a quick trim, it should shoot out in all directions basically. I left this little tiny branch here, and I think I will leave it. We'll leave it as a little internal pad. And here we've got 2 branches. I don't think we need all of them, but I'd like to keep this one. So we'll keep that one with an outward pointing one. And because I'd like to see through, I'm going to take that one right off back to the trunk. As I said, this didn't get touched last year, it just got allowed to grow. And then this comes up over the top a little bit too much. We need the tree over this way a bit. This is heading up into the, just trying to find a suitable bud, just to thicken that branch up, get a few more things going on there. Yeah, I don't want to go too mad, but as I said, having disturbed the roots now and taken some of the roots off, I'd like to reduce the green mass, literally, so that the roots that are there haven't got quite so much work to do in the interim, and give them a chance to push on. Ugly looking branch, it's been chopped off quite badly, so we'll let this one come over the top. We've got an awful lot heading off in this direction now from this. I like the idea of this coming back over the top, so I'm going to let that go, which means keeping everything going in that direction, and then we can be picky at another time. Push it off in that direction. Over here we've got, again, pick your buds, pick the direction you'd like the branch to extend if it chooses to do so. You can get dieback on larch. Too much abrupt pruning can cause the thing to just dump a branch. I had an incredibly nice Japanese larch quite a long time ago now, and it dumped 2 of the middle branches, so it had like a top, a lollipop, and a tiny little bit sticking down the bottom. And it was ruined. Those 2 branches just took the whole shape away. It became just something that wasn't worth keeping, so I didn't. I actually got rid of it. What we've got round here, not too much. What we've got to try and do is, what's happened is the branches have extended quite nicely, but it means that the back of the branch has been left behind and has no side shoots. So by taking some of the longer shoots off at the front of the branch, some of these should shoot out, and then we'll get a better fan shape to the branch. You can see, like all back here, none of these growths have started to grow. The growth is all on the end of the branch. Well, we could do with some here as well as these, not instead of, as well as. Right, that's all it's going to get apart from a really good soak, because that media was incredibly dry, and once it rains it will clean this pot off. It's a strange colour, this pot. It's green with like a bronzy tinge to it, but it was the only size suitable to put this in, and as I said, it had the little bits of mesh ready to go. So that's all I'm going to do to that. I wouldn't normally even dream about repotting anything. Oh, great big crossing branch there. Missed it. There we go. That changes the shape. So that's better. Right, so there we go. If I just get this out of the way, we can just have a better look. Get the junk out of the way. So that I just put that there. That will do for now. And then it's up against the black. I'll just move the tripod a little bit so that you can see what we've been playing about with. So that's what we've ended up with. It's not a bad little tree. Not a bad little tree. It needs to thicken up. It needs these branches to shoot out farther back. The way to do that is to just push it back. Hopefully there's still enough vigour in those roots to push the top growth. And we'll have to wait and see. But yes, we've now got first branch heading off there out of that outside bend. A couple of smaller branches that may or may not stay. They might even get wired into a different position. That might look nice down here. I don't want to put wire on it at the moment, simply because it's growing. And while it's doing all this and producing all this greenery, the branches themselves are swelling. You might not see it, but they are. So you put your wire on now, it will cut in. So just my answer to that is just don't. Just wait. Be patient. Put the wire on later in the year when the branches are more stable and more set and most of the growth has actually happened, and it's in that sort of stable state they get to about sort of June, July time-ish, like that. And then the rest of the year the branches can spend setting within your wire without biting in. So anyway, that's how I work with wire. I don't wire that much anyway. This tree could produce quite a nice tree with a sort of pinch, trim and grow method. Quite honestly, larch lends itself to that. You can force it to push growth out in a certain direction by taking other bits off. Anyway, there we go, Japanese larch. Quick trim and a sort of, I won't call it a styling, but yeah, just changing its position in the pot, and hopefully now it won't keep falling out because it's actually wired in, and the weight of the pot should keep it upright. Nothing else has blown over out there, only this one. So hopefully it should stay still now. Anyway, see you next time. Thanks for dropping by.